And listen, if you're okay with this, bro, whether you're a Tar Heel or a Wolfpack fan, shame on you, because you are directly culpable in watering down the rivalry that I love, man. Hell, why don't we just merge our colors together and become some weird magenta color or something, since it's okay that we swap players all the time?
You don't want none! You don't want none!
What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel. And in this huddle, baby, I've got to get some things off of my chest, man, that have been bothering me for about the last 24 hours. I mean, honestly, they've been bothering me for about the last year when this actually became a thing. But I'm talking about the growing number of college athletes that I'm seeing not only leave the school that they were playing for, you know, X, Y, or Z. They're leaving the school that they were playing for, and they're actually ending up at their school's rival. And as most Tar Heels and Wolfpack fans already are made aware, Van Allen Lubin is just transferred from the University of North Carolina to NC State. This news is probably about 24 hours old, if not a little bit longer by the time you watch this video. Now, I want to make a couple of preliminary comments here before some of you start accusing me of being unreasonable or wishing for the kid not to be successful. None of that is daggum true. Obviously, with the decision that he's made, you're not going to see me holding up any daggum, Van Allen Lubin for president signs when Carolina goes over to Raleigh next year for the one time they're scheduled to play them. But this is something that needs to be addressed as a sport. And, in sports in general, hell, in society in general, dude. And it's the concept of loyalty and just the unspoken, unwritten rules that, should be, it's just proper etiquette, if you will. Okay, now, to be clear, this is not a knock on the kid for going to get his money, okay? I don't have any issue with him going to get his money. This isn't even a knock on him trying to go somewhere to get more playing time. I don't fault him at all for playing within the rules, the scope of the rules that the NCAA has put in place, and taking his talents elsewhere if he feels like he can get more money or he feels like he can get more playing time, right? I don't necessarily agree with it in general, but because that's the scope of the rules that have been put in place and he's taking advantage of that, I can't fault the young man for doing it, okay? But this NIL thing was supposed to be for players to capitalize on their name, image, and likeness. It was never supposed to be pay for play. It was never supposed to be an annual free agency at the college level because you're not getting the playing time you want, or you don't foresee you're going to get the playing time you want. And it damn sure wasn't supposed to tear down the very fabric of the traditions and heated rivalries that make college athletics so damn good. Now, I was a huge Van Allen Lubin fan. I wanted him to come back. I thought he could have been a great piece for North Carolina, probably depth-wise because of the guys we brought in, okay? Huge fan of his, especially at the tail end of last year, okay? And like I said, with the talent that Carolina has brought in on the front line, I get it, But leaving UNC and heading 14 miles down the road to play for their rival, bro, that takes a different type of mindset. And I'm not trying to necessarily equate these things. I need you to, understand the concepts that I'm putting down. It's the type of mindset that a woman who's leaving her husband, would go and she would be with the man that's like, he can't stand more than anyone else in the world. It's like, hey, if you were gonna do this, right, not that guy. That's how you would equate the two things, the concept, if you will. Or if you wanted to flip it on its head, that's like a man leaving a woman and then going and being with her, arch nemesis, the person that she can't stand the most, right? It's just something that is unwritten. Bro, that's low. That's dirty. You shouldn't do that. Okay? And it would be vice versa if it was happening on the other side. It's like that one American soldier that went AWOL downrange, and then he ends up flipping sides, and he starts aiding and abetting the Taliban against American troops. He's helping to hurt Americans. It is the epitome of being a sellout. I think it's a character thing. And I've noticed people pointing to Dontrez Styles as the one that kind of broke the ice on this between Carolina and NC State. And I've had even people, kind of talk about I don't understand why you're making this a big deal. This isn't the first time that it's happened. Well, at least Dontrez Styles had Georgetown sandwiched in between UNC and NC State. Not that that makes it any much better to me personally, but, there's that little asterisk right there. But to go straight to Raleigh from Chapel Hill, dude, I just don't see how that doesn't do something to your soul, bro. I really don't, man. And I don't want to hear people compare this to, which one of you, if they were offered more money or a better position, wouldn't up and leave and take that job. Let's play your game for a second, okay? Let's actually go into the real world, okay? And if you can find me a job in the real world that legitimately has a rival company that employee hated for X amount of time, get offered more money to go and work there by that company, get offered a better position by that company, then we can compare apples to apples. But me personally, I'd still say hell no. I'm not going to the rival that I have hated, okay, in the past. What kind of individual goes from absolutely hating something to seeing dollar signs and or, let's just say, an advancement opportunity or playing time, and then says to themselves, you know what? I don't think I hate that anymore. That is the reason you're able to swallow and depress all this hatred that you have in you for that. It's the dollar signs and the playing time. That's like being a soldier in an army and then being offered a higher position in the army that you're fighting against, right? And actually switching sides to go to war against your former brothers because of the position you were offered, because of the money that you were offered. Everybody in their right mind would say, bro, that is stinking low, that is dirty. But because it's a college kid, it's just like, well, everybody wants to look the other way. I think that this is terrible for college athletics. It's so bad. It's so bad for college athletics, and it is so bad for the rivalry. Here's the thing, man. I don't know what state offered Van Allen Lubin. And quite frankly, I don't stinking care, because hypothetically, if NC State is trying to get, Van Allen, through the transfer portal, then other teams are as well. Okay, you could have went anywhere else, just about, on the East Coast, probably, Val, and you chose to swap sides. And for me, it is absolutely unforgivable, bro. Okay, and not growing up here is not an excuse. Okay, you were taught that hate that Carolina has for NC State and vice versa last year. You experienced it yourself. You were probably over there throwing down Woofy too after Jalen Washington blocked that last second jumper in Raleigh last year. And for you to just forget about all that and go and put on their colors for money or playing time, bro, that is stinking wild, dude. It's stinking wild to me, man. Are there not things that are greater in this world than money? Playing time? I don't know, possibly getting revenge? Have we as fan bases in a society become that shallow where we would just sell our souls, okay, at the whim or the first sign of green bills with dead presidents, or, we're just accepting of former rival players that could bolster our roster? I mean, what is happening, man? Look at Caleb Love, okay? No hard foul, went out to Arizona. Dude stinking balled out. Always showed love to Tar Heel Nation. Never that I know of ever said anything crazy about HD or Carolina. He just kept it moving, man. And I respect him for it. But he got out of the triangle and he went to the other side of the country, man. Just to get away. Just to get away. But you forgot about all that, dude, for a couple of extra bones, right? You forgot about all that for a couple of extra minutes on the floor. And I'll even say this, man, shame on the coaches that are bringing these kids over from rival schools. I hated when Mac Brown brought over former, Wolfpackers Jakeem Harris and Josh Harris last year, bro. Couldn't stand it, man. Couldn't stand the thought of it. Never thought that it would be a thing. And that's even despite Josh Harris technically coming over from Ole Miss, because he was, that Ole Miss time was sandwiched between NC State and Carolina. But he had already been, at NC State. It's an unwritten rule, man, that we should be following at all costs. And I'll even say this to NC State's new basketball coach, Will Wade. Shame on you, bro. Shame on you for starting your career at NC State by bringing in a Tar Heel, man. If I was a State fan, dude, that would rub me the wrong way, man. That would turn me off. I don't care what he was doing, dude. And here's the thing. I don't care if you're a Tar Heel or a Wolfpack fan. If you're okay with this, then shame on you, because you are directly culpable in watering down the rivalry that I love, man. Hell, why don't we just merge our colors together and become some weird magenta color, since you guys don't care anymore and we can just swap players, dude? It is ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, look at this comment from a Wolfpack channel, that we'll leave it nameless because I don't want to give them any people reason to go over there and get up their view count or anything like that. But this kid's name is Yindor227, and this is what he thinks about Vin Allen Lubin as an NC State fan coming to NC State. This is a great get. I was fiending for this dude to join the pack, end quote. I mean, Wolfpack fans fiending for Tar Heels to come over and wear their colors, dude. Listen, this is me personally, okay? David Thompson, Julius Hodge, Tom Gugliotta, TJ Warren, Dennis Smith Jr., bro, all great Wolfpack basketball players. I wouldn't have taken one of them in exchange for the chance to compete for a national title. Not one of them, bro. It just would not sit right with me. Is it just me, man? Like, seriously, this is a legitimate question, because sometimes I feel like I'm the only one that feels this way, okay? Like, honestly, am I just like a dinosaur? Am I just don't know when it became acceptable for these things to happen, man. I mean, the way I feel about it is, for those of us who grew up here, they played sports, they had rivalries, we played for the love of the game, right? The love of the player to our left and right. We played for the hate that we had for that crosstown rival. It was a clean hate. It was pure. It was healthy. No amount of money, cars, girls would ever have been able to sprung me up, dude, to put on my rival's colors and play against my brothers. Bro, it's unfathomable, man. Goodness gracious. It's unfathomable. Nothing. Loyalty is a dead trait today, man. And I'm telling you, man, when you have young men that are unloyal, bro, it's disgusting. It really is. It's disgusting, man. And it'll be one of the key ingredients in the downfall of the sports that we love. Let me make something very clear, okay? And I'm speaking personally here, not to be construed as speaking on behalf of the University of North Carolina, because I am in no way, shape, officially affiliated with them. These are the rules for my own fandom. If you've ever worn NC State red or Duke blue, okay, in my mind, you will never be a Tar Heel. I don't care if you're wearing Carolina blue or not. And if you've ever worn Carolina blue and you put that off, you trade it for red or royal blue, you are dead to Russ the Tar Heel, man. I hope you eat, bro. I'm not wishing any ill will against you, okay? But you can't eat at my table. So, you guys let me know what you think about that down in the comment section, man. I guess rivalries are stinking dead, bro. Catch you on the next one.